What's going on, fellow hunters? Welcome back to the channel. So I'm going to be doing something a little bit different today. So a couple months ago I had picked up this Pit Boss pellet smoker and I have been enjoying the heck out of it. It just doesn't have quite the capacity. This is a charcoal pellet combo. So this is just half and half. So the one side that I have doesn't quite have the capacity that I was looking for. So I ended up upgrading to this Pit Boss Competition Series one. This one has way more space in it. So I got it put together last night, but I haven't got to do the first burn off yet. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna do the first burn off, and then we're going to go ahead and season it, and then we're gonna do the biscuit test. So that way we can see kind of where our hot spots are gonna be. So the reason you have to do the burn off is there could be all kinds of packing greases and just things like that inside of there. So we'll go ahead and we'll heat it up, get all that cooked out of there, and then we'll be able to season it. We're gonna be putting some vegetable oil. We're gonna spray around on the inside. I've got like some Pam spray, and we'll go ahead and coat the inside of that. All right, they've got these controllers, super easy to use. All I gotta do is hit the power button. You'll hear it kick on. Right now I'm gonna go ahead and set it to the lowest setting, which is 130. And then I'll go ahead and I'll leave the door open until it's completely fired up. You wanna make sure that you do that. That way you don't have any kind of crazy explosions, right? So it's just kind of common practice when you're using any kind of pellet grill or smoker to just make sure that your door is open when you fire this thing up. We're gonna let this thing get fired up. We're gonna crank it up to 350 and we're gonna do our first burn off. Now, I did kind of cheat. I have turned it on already. I turned it on last night just to make sure this thing was gonna work. So I turned it on. There's a little bit of ash in the bottom, but I didn't crank it all the way up to heat. I just got it to like 200. Now, with this being our first time that we filled it up the hopper, we are gonna have to go ahead and prime the auger. On every model is a little bit different, but on this model, you have to hold the Fahrenheit and the Fahrenheit Celsius button. So you just kind of hold it down and you'll see the auger the auger light kick on, and then you'll just kind of listen and wait for those pellets to hit the bottom of the burn pot. You'll just sit there and hold it for, it's going to take a couple minutes, but you'll hold it and then you'll start to hear pellets hit the bottom of the burn pot, and you'll know that auger is primed. I can see the fire down there in the burn pot. It's starting to sound like a jet engine. So I'm gonna go ahead and close this door up. We're gonna crank the temp up to 350. So to change the temp on this model, it's super easy. Just click the dial. It's going to show you the temp that it's at. Then as you turn it, it goes up in 5-degree increments. So we're going to go ahead and crank this thing to 350. And then you got to make sure that you click it again just to make sure that you select that temperature. And then from here, we're just going to pretty much let it heat up to 350 and then let it sit for 45 minutes. And then we'll let it cool down and complete its shutdown cycle. We'll pull everything out, clean it all out real good. We're gonna spray everything down with grease, and then we'll be ready for a biscuit test. See where we're at. 171 degrees. This grill does have a spot for 3 probes, one of which is programmable. And I do have, this is Wi-Fi and Bluetooth compatible, so I'll go ahead and show you how to add it to the app as well. All right, so we got the smoker up to 350. Now it's just the boring part. We just gotta wait about 45 minutes. So it's 5:25 now. I'm gonna give it 50 minutes. So we'll come back out at 6:15, shut it down, let it cool, and then we'll get it seasoned. After it's seasoned, we'll go ahead and get it heated back up, and we'll do the biscuit test. Okay, so it's been right about 50 minutes. That pan just went dry, so I'm gonna go ahead and shut this down. So you just gotta press and hold this button, the power button. About 3 seconds, you'll see the screen shut off, and it'll go down into a shutdown sequence. Now it does still sound like it's running. Don't unplug it, let it do its thing, it'll be just fine. We're gonna come back once this cools off, and once I get done eating dinner, so I'm getting ready to pull these burgers off. So we got it cool enough that we can handle all these grates. And my drip tray did get a little crispy, but that'll be all right. So all I'm gonna do now is I'm just gonna wipe out all these ashes. I'm not gonna vacuum the burn pot out just yet. I'll go ahead and I'll vacuum that before my first cook on Sunday. But what I am gonna do is I'm gonna come back with some cooking spray. I'm gonna coat the whole inside. I'm not gonna spray the temperature probe. I'm gonna spray the whole inside. I'm gonna put the grates and stuff back in. I'm gonna spray all of that. So I've just got some cheap, great value, non-stick cooking spray, the canola oil. I'm just gonna go ahead and coat the whole inside of this. Now you don't have to absolutely soak it. Just a light coat will be just fine. I'm just gonna go ahead and I'm gonna coat everything. I'm gonna put everything back in piece by piece. So the next thing we want to do is go ahead and get this link to the app. So we're going to get our app opened up. This is super simple, right? We're going to click grills at the bottom, add grill, yes, read through the privacy policy, enable Bluetooth, powering on the grill. We need to select our model of grill or smoker. I'm going to give it a nickname. We're going to call this one the Beast. If I could spell. All right. So now we're connected. All right, so we've got the smoker lit. While the smoker's lit, we're gonna go ahead and get some biscuits on these racks, and that'll let us know where our hot spots are. Now these aren't the greatest of biscuits as far as quality goes, but we don't need anything super fancy. Just trying to figure out where our hot spots are. I'll tell you what, these are some cheap biscuits. All right, so we're gonna let these go. So we're about 10 minutes in, and just kind of as a quick update, and I knew this was gonna be the case, but down here at the bottom, these ones are getting pretty crispy, but then everything else from there on out seems to be really even. So I think for the most part, I mean, we pretty much knew this, but we're going to want to avoid that bottom rack. I'm going to end up putting like a secondary water pan / drip pan down there, and that'll kind of just live in that location. But everything else is looking really even all the way up. It's holding steady at 350. Everything's looking really good so far. I'm very pleased. We'll give it probably 5 more minutes to see if oh, I can kind of see some edges on this one over here in the middle rack starting to crisp up a little bit, but looking pretty good. Okay, so we're at about 15 minutes, and I'm about to shut this off. Figured I'd go ahead and use the remote power off feature since we've got it, and I go ahead and just test it out. So I should be able to just press the power button down here, turn off the grill. And I guess you can save that cook. You can name it and save it. That's kind of cool. And you could track stuff and all kinds of things throughout the cook. and it's off. Pretty cool. I'm gonna go ahead and crack this door open and let this cool off a little bit, and then we'll check our results of the biscuit test. Overall, I said the biscuits look pretty good, except for this bottom rack. The bottom, for sure. Ooh. So it looks like the bottom rack for sure is definitely much hotter, and then the back right corner of the smoker also gets hotter. So I'd say the back right corner of the bottom rack is the hottest, and then kind of that right side, and then kind of the back, that back right corner almost all the way up. So you can see those got a little more done there compared to this one over here, and it's kind of the same. But this area definitely all up in there for the most part is all very even. I just definitely am gonna avoid that bottom rack and that back right corner. Very pleased with the results of the biscuit test, and I'm very eager to get a cook done on this Sunday. Get that pork butt seasoned up. We'll go ahead and we'll do a video on that too, kind of show you how I get that done. Everybody really seems to enjoy the pork butt, so I'll go ahead and start with that recipe first. So if you like this video and you want to see more like it, and I'm especially going to do summer sausage. I'm going to do like deer summer sausage. I'm going to smoke some jerky on here. I'll probably do some backstrap, things like that. If you're interested to see some videos like that, go ahead and drop a like and a comment. I am going to start up a second YouTube channel, a secondary channel focused solely on grilling. So if you're interested in that, I will go ahead and I'll put a link to that channel as well. There's nothing on it yet, but go ahead and start subscribing so that way you'll be ready when I start dropping some content. I hope you enjoyed the first burn off and the biscuit test of the new smoker. Thanks for watching.